All right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining, and thank you for taking the time to be at this webinar. This webinar is about employability skills, and it's about addressing questions and issues that have been pushed up to me, maybe via email or over LinkedIn. And based on requests, this training is being scheduled now to address all those questions and see how we can encourage you to be employable. So we'll be looking at things like adaptability, presentation, how you manage your time, your attitude towards work, your experience, your ability, your skills, your competencies, how do you grow, and how do you become a better person in your career path. So these are the hats that I'd just like to show you that I wear currently, about 12 or even more. I'm a mentor, I'm a trainer, founder, I'm a recruitment consultant, sustainability ambassador, digital banking advisor or consultant. I'm a career coach, career advisor, employability consultant. I'm also experiencing customer experience, customer journey, talent acquisition management. These are just the various hats that I currently wear. So what makes us employable? I'd always term employability as not just having a job, but about also yourself being able to, if you're running a business, then you're also employable. You're employing yourself and you're offering a service. This is, to me, also employment. So employability skills doesn't have to be you working on a job or working on a particular role. It can be you running your own business. It can be you consulting for others. It can be you majorly solving problems. So according to the LinkedIn most demand skills list, these are the skills that I was able to do, some research just to check and see what's trending. Skills that businesses mostly require. You have to be management savvy, communication, customer service, your leadership skills. You should be able to sell, project management, research skills, analytical skills, which helps you be creative, which helps you be innovative, marketing skills, and then teamwork. You have to be able to collaborate with others. So how can you maintain your career growth on any employment, in any market, feeling secure and also confident? You can achieve this by changing or choosing your career path. You may be an engineer, you may be a sales manager, you may be a project manager, but most of the time you have to step back and then assess your skills. Where am I going to? Are there gaps? What do I need to improve? Think about the skills you believe that you are strong at, the skills you know that when I'm waking up in the middle of the night, I don't need to struggle. When I'm asked a question about, for example, project management, it may be Scrum, I know what to do. I don't struggle. It just comes naturally to me. Those are your strengths. And then you also need to look at your weaknesses and see how you can transfer those ones or transform them into strengths. So think about the things you enjoy doing. It would help you. If you love talking, you're probably a salesperson. If you love talking, you're probably someone who likes consulting, listening to people's problems or issues, organizational challenges, and you want to solve them. What are your passions? What gets you out of bed in the morning? What excites you? What are the things that make you uncomfortable? That may be a problem you're being called to solve. If you're not comfortable seeing people, maybe, let me just use this example, carrying cash around, or you're not comfortable seeing people trying to use an app and having issues, you may be someone who wants to offer maybe a DevOps service or fintech service. Just think through, what are those things that make you uncomfortable? That may be the problem you're called or you're looking to solve. And then your valuable employability skills are, for any role you're applying for, you need communication skills, critical thinking, problem solving. Every organization exists to solve problems. So what problem is an organization looking to solve? That's where you come in. Time management. You've got projects to manage. You've got time deliverables of maybe 1 week or 2 weeks. How soon can you deliver those projects? Do you have the skills required? Working with minimal supervision, commitment and dedication, collaboration. This can never be overemphasized. It's very, very important. And flexibility. Most organizations are moving from maybe computer softwares to cloud software. and you're told to change from this, okay, we're no longer using the particular software, we're moving to another one, it takes a lot of work and a lot of intentional activities that you have to do. So you have to think, oh, I have to be flexible. Am I ready to move from this software to another one? The organization is moving. How soon or how ready am I to move on to that new? So those flexibility skills are also important. Adaptability is another one. So how to boost your network? So all these topics are being pulled up from questions that were raised, because when the invite was sent, participants were asked to submit questions they wanted answers for. So these are some of them. Someone asked, how can I boost my network? And the question is, who do you know? Who can recommend you? Referrals are usually given priority by recruiters because they want to be sure I'm hiring the right person. They want to have the right skills for the right roles. They want people with the right character, the right work ethics, the right attitude. A lot of people work from home now. Work ethics is very important. So how often are you able to sit and actually work and not just do other things that are not supposed to be focused on? And then you want to leverage on your professional network. LinkedIn has over 500 million users and is a popular platform for recruiters, for employers, and they all go on there to search and find candidates. Are you boosting that network? Are you ensuring that your LinkedIn profile is accurate and current? Are you updating it as you should? Are you connecting with as many professionals as you can through your network? If you're looking to become, for example, a DevOps engineer, how many DevOps engineers are you connecting with to gain experience or to ask questions? You may have an interview to attend, or you may have a role you're looking for. Look on LinkedIn, who has those kind of skills? Who can I reach out to? And then you begin to boost your network by reaching out to others. You want to establish relationships with old colleagues or old classmates to open up job opportunities for you. The next job you're looking for is connected to that next person that you have not reached out to. Use social media to get in touch with former classmates. Request endorsements on LinkedIn. Ask for references. Give testimonials. You also recommend people. Write blogs. Share your thoughts. Write articles that are encouraging, things that would help people. So you've read something and you want to share. You don't have to share every day, but you've read something that can be of immense value to an organization or to even a recruiter or a hiring manager. Send it, share it. Oh, I read about this article. I think you'll find it interesting. That's how you reach out, and that's how you boost your network. You're not only reaching out to people to get help, you're also reaching out to offer support and to offer help and to add value. You can also boost your network by making direct contact with recruiters and introducing yourself. Reach out to companies you respect via email. Companies that are looking to work, reach out to them via email, get their contact details, connect with them, connect with the recruiters, introduce yourself, let them know what you've done, let them know the projects you've worked on, what have you achieved, and how can that add value to the organization. Recruiters want to know that you're resilient and that you're persistent. This way. Recruiters want to know that you're there for the solutions they're looking for. Recruiters want to know that you're there for a particular job they may have been struggling with for the past maybe 6 months or thereabout, but you want to make yourself available that this can be solved. Recruiters want to know that you're diligent and that you're competent for the role they're looking to fill. So that's why your communication and network and reaching out to others is very, very important. You want to be the one that will initiate discussions, that will talk about trending topics, available roles, share with others. So to boost your network, you have to show that you're positive. And most of the time these days, interviews are being held virtually. How do you want to project yourself as being positive? How do you want to project yourself as being a problem solver? How do you want to project yourself as being someone who's competent in project management, someone who's competent in fintech, someone who's competent in even recruitment, someone who's competent in any skill? So most of the time you have to look at the job you're applying for, ensure that those skills are skills that you have and you're very competent in. These are roles you've worked on before. Employers are looking to hire problem solvers. Everyone is looking for solution. Every organization is looking for solution. Whether you're in sales or in marketing, you have to be delivering solutions to your organization. Your energy, your positivity is important when you're looking or when you're having conversations throughout your hiring process. Follow up with calls via email. Don't be overly persistent, because I realize that most of the time, a lot of people say, I need to email, I need to do a follow-up to the recruiter. But yeah, sending emails every day, you keep calling, you don't have to do it that way. One email, follow up, call, give them a breather, and then reach out again. Because I've had people ask me, how often do I need to reach out to recruiters? How often do I need to follow up? Follow up as minimally as possible, but don't be in their face, because they're also busy and they have a lot to deal with. How do you advance in your career is another question that was asked. You need to get ahead and start preparing for your next role, even in your current job. You don't need to wait until things go haywire before you start looking. Have a plan. Be proactive about expanding your network. Be focused on what you enjoy, what your passions are. Develop your personal brand. How do you develop a personal brand? If you check your profile on LinkedIn, check your profile on Facebook, check your profile on Instagram, what is it saying about you? When people hear Felicia, what comes to their mind? When I hear Adeyemo, what comes to mind? When I look at your LinkedIn profile, what do I see? So develop a personal brand. Identify those that can mentor you. Get your career coaches. Step outside your comfort zone. Volunteer for challenging projects. You're looking to move into another role. How do you do that? You need to start volunteering. If the role hasn't come up, look for organizations who would benefit from your current skills and offer those skills. Offer them for free if you have to, because you're gaining experience by doing that. Understand how to pivot to another role. So to pivot to another role, most of the times, it comes with volunteering. It comes with offering your service for free. So there was another question about how do I think outside the box? How do I do something differently? Promote your skills. Update your status, especially your job status. Apply for permanent and contract roles or even temporary roles. Make yourself available. Subscribe to job alerts. There's so many on LinkedIn, on Glassdoor, on Indeed, and on Divex. Follow companies you're interested in. Reach out to recruitment agencies, but don't be in their face. Give them a breather. Reach out as often as you can, but not, being a bother to them. Make your application stand out. So we'll be moving on to CV part now, and there are video applications, but that will be in a different session. Your network is your asset. So you need to post what is relevant, what builds others up. Stay connected and don't lose your connection. This will help you develop your focus. Read books. I recently read a book about habits. It's from James Clear. And that book helped me to understand, Atomic Habits. It helps me to understand how procrastination can affect a lot of things you want to do. You're supposed to maybe prepare for this training, for example. The training is coming up on a Saturday. You think, they may have the recorded video. I'll watch the recorded session. Or I have a meeting, I can push the meeting. Or I want to start exercising, I need to lose weight, or I need to, lots of things. And you just have to start procrastinating and pushing. But until you make that thing a habit. For example, reading books, if you choose to read a book a week, it would help. If you're applying for jobs, if you choose to push yourself out there, put yourself out there, apply for one role a week, make that plan. Or you need to certify in maybe project management or engineering or any kind of certification. If you don't push, there's so many certification links from LinkedIn, and I'll share those before this class is over. Seek advice. If you need mentors, reach out. If you don't have a mentor, ask someone to recommend you, and you must be ready to take up whatever is required to be mentored. Consider all those interests. Take inventory of your current skills. Understand where you want to see yourself in the next 5 years. What are your non-negotiables? That would be, I know I do not want to be this particular role. I'm more of a sales manager. I'm not customer service, or I'm more of project manager. I'm not an accountant. So you need to know, what roles do you want? What roles are you interested in? Which ones I know for you? Establish your network and make sure you truly connect. Take that plunge. Don't say, I'm a quiet person, or I'm an introvert. When it comes to pushing out your career, you can't afford to be an introvert. You have to push yourself out there. So you can still boost your resume by using keywords. So you're applying for a role, for example, maybe a quality control position, or I like using project management because most organizations are managing projects now, and I've had to do with project managers. So you want to use key phrases. Avoid using idioms and unnecessary filler words. Make sure project management has to do with managing budgets, has to do with time management. So are those skills already on your CV? Include only relevant information. List your employment history, starting from your most recent place of employment. List your non-academic skills as well. And then your accomplishments. Provide your contact information. I've seen CVs where there was no contact information and we couldn't reach out to such candidates. Optimizing your CV for ATS passing. ATS passing is all about when you send your CV to recruiters, it's run through an application tracking system where a quality control role is being recruited for. And they are looking for things like assessing, identifying, the framework for assessing risks. It should be there. So they've listed all the job descriptions, the tasks. Those appear on your CV. So you need to ensure that your CV is reviewed and dissected so that the important information is easily recognized and sorted properly when it goes through the ATS. So things like your work history, your qualification, your contact details should be there. Please, let's mute ourselves. So optimizing your CV also includes use the right file type. Some CVs are asked for, you apply for a job and they tell you, send your CV in PDF format, send your CV in Word document format. Ensure that you adhere to those instructions. Because if you don't, your CV may not be accepted through the ATS, through the application tracking system. So avoid images, avoid charts, offer another fancy graphics. So you don't need fancy graphics on your CV. Check spelling, check grammar, check the font size efficiency. After this class, after the recording, we're going to go through, I'll show an example of my own CV, and so that you'll see how simple it should look. And anyone who reads the CV with the bullet points can easily tell, this is what I'm looking for. This person has what I'm looking for. Longevity is another thing that you have to consider with your CV. Longevity has to do with the length of time you spent on a particular position. Some will say 2 or 3 years. Some will say 1 year is okay. But depending on the company that is hiring, for some companies, 2 years is okay. For some companies, 1 year is fine. So depending on, that's why you have to do your research. What does the company want? What are they looking for? So the amount of years spent with an employer can span over 5 years. It doesn't matter, as long as the required skills and competencies are there for you. So your resume should showcase your strength. The absence of that strength is not good for your CV. Optimizing your CV for ATS passing also includes accurate contact details. You don't need to put your long address, just the street name and the location is fine. Professional email addresses are also important. Your most recent jobs must be at the top. Quantify and demonstrate results and achievements. So I'll give an example. You're applying for head of IT. What are the things you've achieved as an IT, at the head of IT? You can mention things like ability to shuffle or move from software and handle change management processes. I mentioned earlier about how organizations are moving from software to those that are operated in the cloud. So how have you achieved those? You can say by moving from cloud software into a cloud software, we were able to save maybe 100,000, just quantify, put the figures, let them know what has been achieved through change management process. Company achieved customer service journey reduction. Just put those words there. You can say, for example, based on the recent change management process managed by, and you have to project yourself as the one who was in charge of the project. If you're not in charge of the project, then that would be a minus. To ensure that it's something you have achieved in the past. Reduce customer attrition by 70%. Customer product development rate increase from 20% to 70%. Things like that. I'll show you an example after now. So quantify and demonstrate those results. How many times do those keywords appear on your CV? It matters. Do the keywords appear in the job title? Do they appear in the tasks? Do they appear on your previous experiences? You have to ensure that those keywords get the hiring or recruiting manager's attention. Another thing you want to be careful about is customize your resume to the job description, the specific job. So if you're applying for a quality control manager position, what are the achievements? What have you achieved as a quality control manager? What risks have you averted for the company? What is the amount of, what is the amount that has contributed to the bottom line? Are you increasing the company's competitive advantage? Are they able to stand as an organization and have share market that is necessary? So for example, you work in an IT company. Can that company, because of all the achievements or all those problems you solve for them, stand and say, we have 90% market share? So those are the things you want to look at. So on your CV, you can say, increase company market share from maybe 50% to 70%. And you have to give example. I don't know how many of you know about STAR technique. When it comes to interviews, you have to use the STAR technique. The STAR technique is STAR, which is situation, task, action, and result. What was the situation? The situation was when I joined the organization, they were having challenges with managing customer retention. That was the situation. And what was your task? Your task was to reduce customer retention from 70% to 50%. And what was the action? You conducted a survey to understand customer behavior. It's called behavioral economics, to understand what customers need, to understand what exactly brings them to the company's website. So you ask questions like, what did you click on the website? How many days, how often do you use the company's app? Questions like that. That was the action you took. And the result was, by understanding customers' needs, by getting the data and analyzing them and giving insights, you were able to reduce customer retention from 70% to 20%, and it's still ongoing. So those are the things you can mention to handle the STAR technique, so that whoever is interviewing you or asking questions understands that this person has the required skills or competence. So tailor your skills to match the keywords on the job. Always write a cover letter. The cover letter projects you as someone who needs to be considered for the role. So if you're sending your CV without a cover letter, it's not all CVs that are opened when they come in or when they go on the database. Your cover letter helps the recruiter read through, okay, this person has the skills, I can move on to the CV. And then most of the time, if 100 people apply for a role and only 50 people send cover letters, sometimes those who have cover letters are the ones who will be screened as being competent. The ones who don't send cover letters most of the time, or sometimes, the CVs will just be put aside or archived. So always send a cover letter. It covers your resume and helps the recruiter have a preview of what they're looking for on your CV. And then it should not be more than 2 pages. Your CV shouldn't be more than 2 pages. I've had to review a lot of CVs. Even mine used to be 9 pages, but I've had to review, and I'll show you that as well, to show you what I did to ensure that it was about 2 pages. Stick to simple bullet points, not having thousands of bullet points, but also not having chunks of text. It helps the recruiters or helps the hiring managers read through easily. So what is professional development in your career advancement? That has to do with is the utilization of your new skills and your information to advise your career objective on your current role as well. So by honing your skills, taking initiative, you're preparing yourself to assume greater responsibilities. which is just your professional development and your career advancement. So if you can type in the chat box for me, how many trainings have you done in the past, maybe in the past 6 months, from January till now? Let's just do that exercise quickly. In the chat box, how many trainings have you done? How many certifications have you done? And how often do you do those certifications? Is it yearly? Is it monthly? So 2 questions. Type in the chat box how many certifications you've done and how often you do those certifications, monthly, yearly, so that we can address that. Let me see the responses. None in the last 6 months, 3. So we need to keep checking. I mentioned earlier, LinkedIn has a lot of trainings that you can, and they are for free. And then we also have Harvard Business Review. They have a lot of trainings. There's Coursera, there's Udemy. They have lots of trainings that are relevant to skills. And then soft skills. I'm going to be talking about soft skills now. What do you understand by soft skills? These are personal qualities or personal traits that are required for success in the workplace. And there are things like your interpersonal interactions with others. These are usually characterized by our soft skills. So the way you relate with others, the way you communicate is part of your soft skills. And according to this list here, these are the soft skills. And there are more, but these are just the ones we'll be focusing on for the purpose of this training. So we've got adaptability. How easily do you adapt to situations, to changes in organizations, maybe to new restructuring processes, new softwares, new head of departments or new staff or new processes? How do you adapt? Negotiation skills. How well can you negotiate if you're a salesperson and the customer is asking for 10% reduction? How do you address that negotiation? Do you have the skills necessary? Conflict resolution, critical thinking, problem solving, teamwork, positivity, strong work ethic, time management. Can you be trusted to work from home? Can you be trusted to handle a customer without supervision? How motivated are you? How dependable are you? So these are soft skills. So according to Novo Resume, novoresume.com, there are 10 soft skills employers love for any profession. These are time management, communication, adaptability, problem solving, teamwork, creativity is very important, leadership skills, interpersonal skills, work ethic, and attention to detail. These are very important. They reveal a lot about you, including how you interact with other people, or how you respond under pressure, or how you have potential to be a professional when you're employed. And as a result, many businesses prefer to work with candidates who have appropriate soft skills than those who don't. Some employers would rather work with you because of your soft skills and develop your hard skills as you go along than have you have hard skills and then you don't have the soft skills. There's no point having project management skills, which are hard skills, and then you can't work with people, or you don't have work ethics, or you don't have attention to detail. Attention to detail is mainly about you observing, slowing down and looking at processes, not being under pressure to work or to get results, but rather scrutinizing and looking at things without putting the company in any form of risk or without having to bypass any form of process. So your hard skills are those technical skills that are needed for a position. They are not like soft skills. Hard skills are more about your technical abilities. They are learned and they can be developed via experience or via education, which are usually certifications or qualifications. So hard skills are crucial for your resume. Most of the time when you're applying for a job, your hard skills should also be listed on your CV. Things like graphic design, data analysis, project management, digital marketing, copywriting, computer programming, foreign languages, search engine optimization. These are just a few of the hard skills. And they come through certification. Certifications like software development, SQL. So according to LinkedIn, these are high in demand hard skills. Finance, Python, Java, data analysis, JavaScript, cloud computing, operations, customer relationship management. These are hard skills that you need to have. So One more thing is jobs in demand. We have the following jobs are in high demand right now. Technology. Technology companies are looking for developers, software engineers, cybersecurity specialists, project managers, digital marketers, digital consultants, because the world is going virtual. Most people work from home. And then in the education sector, English teachers, secondary school teachers, math teachers are in high demand. And then for finance, we have insurance consultants, accountants, financial analysts, digital marketing specialists. For retail, there's high demand for customer service and sales. And then for healthcare, nurses, midwives, and care assistants. So you want to be aware of all this. So to develop strategies for job hunting skills, you have to know yourself. Know your search. Ascertain your preferred jobs. What are your non-negotiables? I can't negotiate with this one. The company must be maybe in a particular location for you to join, or the company must offer you flexibility to work from home. Those are examples of non-negotiables. And then you want to research potential employers. Look for those opportunities. Check on websites. Check on the social media platforms. Configure job alerts. Focus on specific keywords on your CV. Limit the number of results. Use keywords to search. For example, you're looking for a job in sustainability. Type in sustainability jobs, even on LinkedIn. Jobs will pop up. Engineering jobs. When they pop up, you can now begin to narrow the search. Utilize a variety of job boards. Indeed.com is there. I don't know about Jobberman now, but there's so many that are available. Utilize a variety of social media platforms to check who's hiring, who's not hiring, follow hiring news, promote your skills also. Be speculative. So, this may not come through, but I'm pushing forth and I'm pushing forward my CV for the role. Obey all application requirements. I mentioned earlier that if you're told to send your CV in PDF format, do so. Otherwise, some ATS, application tracking systems, will not accept it. Fill out forms, follow instructions. Some would say, send your resume or send your CV. There's a difference between the two. Resume is shorter than your CV. Resume can be 1 page or 2 pages, but your CV can be more than 9 pages. So in that instance, if you're told to send your CV and you send your resume, you've mixed it up. Or if you're told to send your resume and you send your CV, you may not be considered, because in the first place, the ATS will not even accept it because there's a speculation. Keep a diary. Keep track of roles you've applied for. I've had a situation where someone applied for a role in a particular job space. For example, the person applied for customer service, and then when the person was being interviewed, the person forgot that he had applied for customer service and was talking about another entirely different role because it was mixed up. He had come for the interview, but he had forgotten that this is not the role that I actually applied for. So you want to make sure that you've checked and you've verified that this is the role I'm talking about. You may have applied for 10 jobs on a particular company, and you're called for an interview, you mix up what the roles are. Be particular about, getting yourself ready. So I took the time to explain what a cover letter is here. It's a 1-page document that is submitted with your CV when you're applying for a job. The goal of a cover letter is to help you introduce yourself in a concise manner and give a rundown of your professional history. It's a strong cover letter when it can pique the interest of the hiring manager of the recruiter. On the other hand, a cover letter can result in your application being shredded without being read. So you have to make sure that it has all the necessary information targeted towards the job. The cover letter should be between 250 and 400 words. That's what we take up on a page. Mastering the craft of writing an effective cover letter is crucial to ensuring that you get your next role. So if you're wondering what an effective cover letter looks like, I'll show you an example now, and then we'll have a discussion. So does anybody have any question? If you need employment support, you can reach out and explore all your options. So just copy out. Okay, let me just copy this and paste in the chat box. So if you have questions, now we can take questions. I was going to show a few things. Let me just quickly copy that and paste in the chat box, and then you can reach out to me. I've pasted details in the chat box. Questions, you can unmute yourself and ask questions now.
Good morning, Felicia.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning, other participants. My name is Muiti Adiem, and I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. I've actually wanted to reach out to you a long time ago. There was a time I asked for a CV review and all that, and you told me what I needed to do. Yeah, I want to, my questions are two ways. The background is that I just migrated to the United Kingdom. I'm a banker, or should I say I was a banker for 16 years with one of the major banks in Nigeria before I moved to join my family here. But what I've observed here is that in the United Kingdom, if you do not have, specifically if you're a professional from Nigeria or other third world country and you do not have experience with them, or you do not have their certification or certifications recognized by them, you are not really given the opportunity to, even if you have a lot to offer them,